Dads, if you see or have a situation like this, don't get upset and want to fight or throw your hands up. Don't do that. Be smart, document this stuff, and go to court.
In the restaurant.
Kira. Kira.
Oh, here you go. Here you go. Thank you. Appreciate you.
It's visitation time, honey. Like,
And that's what you need to understand.
Okay, and I'm understanding that.
So why are you still here?
Because I can be.
No, you can't. Honestly.
so
I'm not
Kira.
going nowhere. So
Kira-
that doesn't
All right,
Kira.
that's cool.
Y'all having y'all visitation?
All right.
Yeah, okay. So when Erica come back.
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
was y'all
so be
supposed
ready.
to go to the mall? Was y'all supposed to go to the mall?
I don't know what the plan is now.
The plan was dinner.
Dinner?
Yes.
A supervised dinner?
No, it wasn't no supervised.
It's
So
never
thank you.
clarified, supervised, unsupervised.
All right, so
it's
why
gonna
are
be
you still
supervised.
here?
Because it's going to be supervised.
That's
This is
not
my
so
order.
cool.
Okay,
Me.
Kira,
So
okay.
you mean
So
he's
no,
gonna
no, you're not gonna do that. It's a good vibe. Baby happy. She ain't kicking, hollering, and
She
screaming.
ain't kicking and hollering, none of
I'm
that.
so glad.
So
Yeah.
go away.
I'm talking to you.
So
Okay, I'm
Kira.
talking to you.
So wait. Come on. Cause we gotta keep the peace. This is co-parenting. You gotta learn to co-parent. So let's
She's
keep
not
the
even
peace.
supposed to be here.
I've looked at this video multiple times, and to say the least, it is infuriating. It irritates me, and I am just pissed when I see it. And when I look at this young lady, I'm like, she should be embarrassed. I mean, there's a few type of vibes that this gets me. It gives me the vibe that you need to get a life. Like, what's your problem and issue? You stand your behind up there interfering with this man in his visitation. For what purpose? Go and find another man to hang out with. Go do something for yourself. I mean, if you listen to the video, it's like they almost follow the father and his family to this restaurant, and she happened to bring some other people. And to sit there and pretend that she just happened to be there, she want to see her. For what? This is embarrassing. As a woman, as a mother, just embarrassing. Like, girl, get a life. And the reason why I am so angry about stuff like this is because there is no rhyme or reason for that. I get it. There are a lot of women that seem to think that they're the best parent because the world has actually made them think that way. Courts and judges and guardian lions oftentimes feel that the mothers are the best parents, especially when the children are young. And despite the fact that there's lots of case law and precedent that says the complete opposite, despite the fact that there's a lot of evidence that dads have paternal desires, they sometimes are better parents than mothers. But get a life. This is embarrassing. This almost sounds like a woman who maybe broke up with a guy but still stalking him. Like why? Anyway, so the thing to ask you as an attorney, what do you do in a circumstances like this? Like, what are your options as a father? Well, it depends on your situation. So, for instance, if you have a court order, there are a lot of things you can do. If you don't have a court order, then there are some other things you do. So, let's start first if you don't have a court order. So, let's just say you and mom have often agreed, okay, you can visit little Johnny here, you can visit Johnny there, but she always interferes. So a thing that you could consider doing it is like dad is doing here, videotaping it. And if you have to file a petition for custody in court, you can show the court, I need visitation or parenting time with my child that needs to be in a consistent schedule order, because if I don't, this is what's going to happen. This is a consistent behavior of this woman. She interferes with the visitation. When I try to call my child, she interrupts that, or she won't answer the phone. I send her text messages to let me speak to little Samantha, and she doesn't do that. So this can be grounds to actually go to court and request the court for a certain type of visitation or custodial arrangement, because it clearly looks like she's either interfering, or in other instances she won't allow you to visit at all. And the court standard in most cases and most jurisdiction is best interest. It has zero to do with your anatomy or your biology. Okay, the fact that you happen to be born a woman and dad happened to be born a man has absolutely nothing to do with it. That belief and that thought is long overdue, and it's not a thought that the courts use anymore. Now, if you have a court order, there's a lot of stuff you can do, a lot of great stuff. For instance, if your court order specifies that your visitation is like, I hate to use this, but it's standard visitation. So every other weekend from like Friday at 6 p.m. to Sunday at 6 p.m. If your visitation says just that, guess what? That's your visitation. And unless the visitation says that it needs to be supervised, mom don't have a hill of beans to be there. She needs to get on. Now, there was some discussion in the video that was inquiring or saying something about, is the visitation supervised? Well, in my experience, visitation is only to be supervised, one, if the order says that it's supervised. If the order is silent about supervised visitation, guess what? Supervised visitation is not a damn thing. You don't have to have the visitation supervised. Second thing, when an order says that it's supposed to be supervised visitation, then the order will oftentimes put the name of the person or persons who are to supervise the visitation. If it's silent on that, guess what? More likely than not, the visitation is not supposed to be supervised. Okay, so that's the first thing. So when you hear that discussion in the video, where there's something about whether the visitation is supposed to be supervised, if you have to ask that question, then chances are it's not. And more likely than not, the court is not going to have the mother supervise the visitation. Anyway, that's one instance. Like, you can go to court and say that she's interfering with your visitation because there's nothing in the order that requires her to actually visit. Another thing you can do is ask the court for attorney fees. And why do you ask that? Well, guess what? If mom is interfering with your visitation rights and you have to go back to court and you have to hire an attorney, the only reason why you have to do that, taking time off from court, spending money on attorney fees, spending money with the court and stuff like that, you're doing that because the mom has done something that have, in particular, has disobeyed the court's order. And but for mom's trifling behavior and her disposition and her attitude and her actions, you wouldn't have to spend this money. And so, for that reason, the court should require her to pay your attorney fees. And now, I know in the courts and jurisdiction I practice in, you can't ask for money for having to lose pay, but the court will consider your expenses that you had to actually incur because of her. That's what I would do. Now, another instance, what you could consider, if mom's attitude or this type of behavior is consistent and you have documentation like several videos, phone calls, text messages, or phone recordings and stuff like that, where this behavior of interfering or refusing visitation is consistent, you could actually file a motion for contempt or ask the court to modify custody and or visitation, but for the purpose of saying that it is not in the child's best interest that mom continue to be the custodial parent. Why? Because the child is being put in a situation where she or he is witnesses bad behavior. We don't know what kind of trauma that will cause to that child. What if in this particular situation the restaurant folks were got really angry, called the police, and it became a big hoopla? I don't have to tell you, but that child will not only see it, but the child will be probably crying because she don't want to see all this kind of fight. And in the course of that, that child could be actually affected by it negatively. And let's just say the police came and dad was arrested, because let's face it, a lot of times folks just believe the mom. Okay, and dad gets arrested. Obviously, he might lose his job. He got to pay court costs. He got to pay for an attorney. He got to do all this stuff, and the child has to see that. And obviously, most people, even little kids, would think if the police arrest someone, daddy must did something bad. That makes that child have a negative opinion of her dad. The court do not like that, despite what many people think. But you have to be able to document that. And so, if you're asking the court to either modify your visitation or your parenting time or to modify custody, the court would need to see that mom is creating these circumstances that can ultimately hurt the child. And if it can hurt the child, guess what? It's not in the child's best interest. These are some things that I have done that when I represented my clients, and I have been very successful at getting my clients either modification of custody, sole custody, and in those tapes, to those instances, I've actually gotten it where dad had sole custody, mom had standard visitation, and mom was paying child support. And so, dads, if you see or have a situation like this, don't get upset and want to fight or throw your hands up. Don't do that. Be smart. Document this stuff and go to court. Okay? And there's a way you go to court to be able to present this evidence. Anyway, this is Attorney Hughes, the father's advocate and the bulldog attorney fighting for justice. If you found this video to be helpful, please consider liking, sharing, and leaving a comment below. And also, please become a subscriber to our channel. And also, don't forget, don't stop fighting. Your children do need you.